Hello, I'm Fernando Sosa, and you're watching Mindset of Steel live show. In this show, we encourage you to crush your limiting beliefs, punch fear in the face, and take massive action in your business and personal life by focusing on the 80% psychology and 20% strategies. This is episode number 19 of our weekly show. I'm very excited to be here this evening. And we're on to week number 2 of 2021. So happy New Year again, everybody. There's a lot we're looking forward to this year. Happy New Year, just to celebrate a little bit. And this episode, we are going to talk about a topic that is, I think people kind of put off into discussing and even thinking about. That has to do with life expectancy, and we're going to get into that in a few moments. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to click on the subscribe button, and also just click on the notification icon so you can be notified when we go live. If you're watching or if you're listening to us on YouTube, if on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please leave us a review. That will help us. And just to know who's listening to us on podcast. So go ahead. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe and click on the notification. And if you want to join our community, we're building up some new content that I'm very excited about. A lot of things are going to be developing over the course of the coming weeks. You should go to our website, mindsetofsteel.com, to join the community. And you'll be invited to our private Facebook group, where we put additional content during the week inside the group. So a lot of magic is happening in that group, and you're welcome to join us. We actually started a couple of things. We started a 52 book challenge, where we're going to be challenged to read 52 books in 52 weeks. So for 2021, that's kind of a goal, the challenge. It's not a race, but it's just something that we're going to do to become habitual readers. And right now we're on book number 2, and we're reading Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. So it's a pretty intense book about mental toughness. Last week we read Atomic Habits, and that was a very good book. So we do the book reviews every week, and other things are happening, like I said. So join us at Mindset of Steel, and you can be part of the community. It's a free community. All right. So today, I'm going to talk a little bit about life expectancy. Now, there's an average. I mean, if you think about it, I mean, life, is inevitable, that we are here today and gone, we don't know when, right? Death is inevitable. And it's a topic that I think a lot of people, understandably, they don't want to talk about it. They want to put off. Nobody wants that to happen, but it's a sure thing. It's a sure thing. If you go to a hospital, there's many people born, and there's many people that pass away. So if you think about that, you can actually find out the life expectancy that you have based on statistics, calculations. I'm going to share with you a life expectancy calculator that the Social Security Administration uses. But if you go online, you can find many different calculators. And I'm going to share with you, based on myself, my life expectancy. And the reason I want to do this is just, again, if you don't know what's going on with your time, it's very easy to let time pass by, and then you don't really know where time went, right? And you'll see in the next moment how we can break down the time that we spend, and how much time we have left to actually do the things that we want to do. Because a lot of times we might say, "Oh, I'm going to do this sometime in the future. I'm going to do this sometime," or and you kind of think that you have a lot of time ahead of you, and you may have a lot of years ahead of you. But the years, there's a lot of things that happen, and there's a little, portion of that time that is actually for you to do something. The other time, you spend sleeping, doing other things, and we'll get into that. So let me share with you this here is the Social Security Administration, the U.S. Social Security Administration website, and that is where it's ssa.gov, so it's just a government website. So if you go to that website, there's a link on the bottom here. You go to that link, and that takes you to their calculator. And the calculator looks like this. It's very simple. All you need to do is enter your gender and your date of birth. And then it calculates. You just click on submit. And then it calculates your life expectancy. So this is me right here. Okay. So at 47, I'm 47. And at 47, I have an additional life expectancy of 34.3 years. Okay, my friends, 34 years. So that's an estimated total of 81, 82 years old. That's when I'm going to kick the bucket, estimated, right? At 81 years old. If I get to be age 62, then they adjust the numbers. And so it's an additional 22 years, and then it's a total years of 84. And if I get to be 67 years old, then my total estimated year is 85, and so forth. If I get to be 70, they make the adjustment, and they estimate that around 86, 87 years old is when I kick the bucket. Okay, so that you can calculate again with a calculator, life expectancy calculator on ssa.gov, and I can give you the link in the comments. I put it here, and there's others out there, but this makes me, gives me an idea, right? The average, right? It's a they're ballparking, they're estimating, right? My life expectancy. And, that gives you some perspective. It gives me some perspective to kind of think again, what am I doing in this life? The time that I have left, I still have many years ahead of me, right? But we're going to dive deeper here and see actually how many years really do I have ahead of me. Okay, so let me show you on the next slide. This graph shows you the life expectancy in different countries. Okay, and the United States is down here in green. So it's about 78.6 years old is the life expectancy in the US. It's pretty low. It's pretty low compared to the other countries. You see comparable average over here is the blue. It's 82.3. Japan the highest with 84.2. And United States is 78.6. So that's pretty low, I think. But it's an average, right? Some people live more, some people live less. Here's another graph just for the US. And it says here, the US has seen a slower growth in life expectancy than comparable countries. Okay, so the US is here in green. And this is going back to, this says 2011. So 2016 it stops here. So that's about, again, 78 years old, 80 years old is the life expectancy in the US. So again, just to give you some perspective, right? So let's go back, and based on the numbers that came up for me, and again, you can adjust it for yourself. But if we look at the numbers, it said that I'm going to live about 85 years old based on the Social Security Administration. That's the life expectancy. So 85 minus 47, that's my current age, that's 38. So I have 30, according to this, I have 38 years left of life, expected life, 38. Okay, so it starts getting, I start getting a little nervous here. Okay, 38. Well, okay, that's a lot. That's a long time. It's a lifetime, right? 38. Okay, so let's break it down. 38 years to live, right? If you multiply that by 52 weeks, it's about 1976 weeks, almost 2,000 weeks. If you break down by months, that's 456 months. It starts not sounding that much anymore when you think about it that much. So I have 456 months left. Okay, so We're in January. At the end of January, I'm going to have 455 left. In February, 456, 454, right? So that kind of helps you kind of think, or helps me, keep track of that counter. By this estimate, my date of expiration estimated will be in the year 2059. Okay. So, yeah. Okay. So again, this is just to calculate, estimate, and you can do the same thing in the life expectancy calculator. But it does give you a perspective on life, I think. Just, time flies and it's inevitable. It's going to happen. And what you do with your time today, you have to really take advantage of it. I mean, it's like cliche, live life to your fullest, live life every day like it's your last. You've heard that over and over. But when you look at this, I mean, you really, really see that that's really the case. I'm going to dive a little bit deeper now. If I'm saying I have 38 years to live, what normally do you do during the day? Okay, so let's ballpark this. Let's average this. Okay, so typically sleeping, right? About 8 hours. You go to work or you do work, 8 hours of work, more or less, right? Driving back and forth, commuting, whatever it is that you want to do. You bathe, personal time. You bathe a couple of times. Go to the bathroom a couple of times. Personal stuff, brush your teeth, right? About an hour a day. Eating, you eat breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, about 2 hours a day. This is on a daily basis, right? TV, social time, you stop working, you're on social media, 2 hours TV, you're taking a break, and leaves you some miscellaneous hours for 2 hours. You might do something personal here. That's it, my friends. That adds up to 24 hours. So when you break this down like this and you think about it, there's not that many things done in the day, right? More or less, right? There's things that you can cut here, cut there, but that is typical. Sleep, work, commuting, personal time, eat, okay? And then the TV, social media, miscellaneous, that's where you can take advantage and be productive and do something, with your time. You don't necessarily need to sleep 8 hours. Some people, can get away with 7, even 6. But it's good to just get a picture of where your time is spent on a daily basis. And then you're able to mitigate the time and make adjustments. This is where time flies. When you don't keep track of what you're doing, then your days go by, your weeks go by, your month goes by, a year goes by, you don't know what happened. What did you do? So if you break it down like this, you know how much time you have left to do some activity or some work or something on the side. Definitely the TV, social, very easy, not required. A lot of time is spent there. Miscellaneous, you got some time. So you can manage your time. You cannot make more time. The time is the same, 24 hours. You can't make time. You have to just manage your time and prioritize things that you do. So let me put these numbers into more, just to get another perspective of this. So if this is what we're doing, okay, now in 38 years that I have left, okay, if I have 38 years to live, times 365, that's 13,000 days, 13,870 days that I have left. Okay, so now I'm counting the days. Okay, 13,000 days. So that means in hours, that's 332,880 hours. Okay, sounds like a big number, right? 332,000 hours left. Expected life in my expected lifetime, right? My life expectancy. So what does that mean? Let's break it down. Sleeping 8 hours a day, right? For 38 years, okay, that means I'm going to be sleeping 110,000 hours sleeping in the next 38 years. Okay. I'm looking at this and it just like even doesn't look right. I mean, that's a lot of hours, right? But if I'm going to live 38 years and I spend 8 hours a day sleeping, right? 8 hours, it's a plus or minus, right? That's about 110,000 hours in my life that I have to live, right? Working, about the same, right? 8 hours, so it's the same. Driving, it's 13,000 hours, okay? Bathing, etc., etc. So that's how I calculate the hours, right? So everything, TV, 27,000 hours of TV, social media, right? 27,000 hours. It's a lot. Miscellaneous, the same. So that adds up to 332,880 hours. So if you look at it in this way, you can see how many years I have left, how many days I have left, how many hours I have left. I can take away the hours that I'm going to be spending, right? Sleeping, working, driving, etc. And then you see how much time I actually have to do something, right? It's not that many hours, right? Compared to the 13,000 days, it's much less. Because if you do the math, and I want to do the math here with you. Let me pull up a calculator. If I take, let's say, TV and miscellaneous, 27, let's see. If I say 27,740 times 2, okay, that's 55,480 hours. Okay, that's all I have. And I divide that by 24 hours. That's these other days. 2,311. 2311 days divided by 365. That's less than 7 years. So that's 7 years. Okay. That's 7 years, six to 7 years of TV and social and miscellaneous. Okay. So again, if you kind of do the math and you get an idea of where your time goes over time. And this reminds me of the book that we read last week in the book club, in the book challenge, Atomic Habits, where we're talking about the compound effect, basically compounding small actions and how over a period of time they produce massive results. Because again, you have the time that you have left, but if you're doing certain things over and over a period of time, and you know how much time you have, you can actually see the results in the long term. So I think all of these things tie in together, because I think it's very, I think, important to just to see where is your time going. This is, I can just put those numbers into a pie chart, and as you can see here, most of the time you're spending a lot of your time working and sleeping. So, what can you do about that? What can you do about that? So my friends, the reason we're bringing this topic up is just to understand that this is the year 2021. And in the blink of an eye, it's going to be the end of the year, right? We're already on week 2 of the year, and time will fly. We have to look at what we're doing with our time. We have to understand that our time here is very short. Depending on how old you are, how many years you have left ahead of you, right? Obviously, the younger you are, the more you have ahead of you. But the mindset is different, right? When we're younger. But as we get older, we start thinking about death, right? Kids, young people, they don't think as much about death and like we do. But we unfortunately we can't go back in time and do and redo things, right? We just have to use the time that we have in front of us to the best we can. So what I encourage you to do is to just take a look at the calculator, just punch in the numbers, and don't get sad if by looking at this, it's easy to get sad and say, oh man, I don't have a lot of time left, or I wasted a lot of time, or hey, the time is the time. You can still live and do a lot of great things, but you are aware. As long as you're aware of what's going on, I think that's the key thing. So don't just let time pass by and not notice what's going on. So just thinking about that helps me understand this. I did this exercise a couple of years ago with a group, and it was mind blowing because we really didn't see the time in buckets like this. Like you see blocks of buckets. When you grow up, you're born. Your younger years from 1 year old to 10-year-old, you're a little kid. Then you get into 18-year-old. Then you get into young adult, 18, 20, and then you get to a point where people call it the midlife crisis, or middle age midlife crisis, and you start thinking about life and death more seriously. But I think this is a good time to reflect the beginning of the year. I hope this makes you think and wonder and gets you motivated to don't take it for granted, the time that you have left. Take action. Think about what it is that you want to do in the next couple of weeks in this year, because time goes by. Don't let it go. Don't let this month go by. Okay, this is week number 2. Don't let this weekend and you have something in your mind and you keep on procrastinating and putting it off. Don't do that, because the next thing you know, it's the end of the week, and now we're talking about week number 3, and we're in the same routine. So in the same cycle. All right, my friends, that is all that I wanted to talk about today. I just wanted to reflect a little bit about that. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. Comment below. Let me know what you think about this. Did this make you wonder, or do you think my math is wrong? What do you think about those estimations? 85 years old, 80 years expected life expectancy in the U.S. I don't know how the world is now, but yeah. So my friends, if join the community, go to mindsetofsteel.com and join us on our private community. I would like to see you there. Don't forget to subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, and leave us a review if you're listening to us on podcasts. Thank you again. This has been episode number 19 of mindsetofsteel.com. Mindset of Steel. We are going to have a lot of good content coming up in the next couple of weeks. I'm very excited. We're putting some nice content together and some special guests. So I'm very excited about that. So with that, I'm going to leave you. Thank you again. Have a good evening. Bye.